Hey, it's Thursday, so it must be time to thrive. I am Rob Patz.
I'm Jason Webb. Hey, Rob, we got the intro today. Look at
We
that.
did. We nailed it. I felt so good.
Nailed it.
It's probably because I'm doing daily television again. My brain actually is functioning. Yesterday I did a solo show. I don't recommend those for anybody, especially like I wandered through the wilderness. My wife watched it. She was giggling at some of my stories that I told. Yesterday, of course, was my birthday.
Happy
So
birthday.
I did a solo show and talked about life and cake and a few other things, which by the way, my wife delivered big time. We had a fudge cake. If you've never had a fudge cake, you should. You can actually find the recipe. This is a plug that was not meant as a plug, but you can find it on our app under, I think I labeled the show Fudge Cake. I think it's Rob and Kristen's show, and I think it's called Fudge Cake. I think that's the whole, and literally we spent the whole episode making fudge cake, which is awesome. That was a couple years ago, and it's one of my favorite cakes. I gotta tell you though, buddy, it's fall now. You know, I mean, we're totally into that. And I don't know. I'm like a couple weeks in, and I don't know if I'm feeling the whole pumpkin spice thing. I don't know if it's been a year for me that I just don't feel. It's like I don't know. I love now. My wife made really good pumpkin bread. That was amazing. But
Yeah, I do
drinks
love
and
the
stuff.
I do love the pumpkin bread and I do love the spice. I love my chai teas, all that, but the pumpkin spice, all of the fall stuff. My wife is huge in this. Our house is already like fall is thrown up in our house. Okay.
Yes.
We got everything everywhere. And here I'm
Yep.
like, I don't want summer to end. I'm a summer guy. So it's
It's
usually a
right.
struggle.
Well, now fall started on Monday,
Mhm.
and so it's weird, but yes, we took a trip to the lobby that hobbies, and we did that, and Kristen came home with a lot of like ceramic pumpkins, which I'm good with because real pumpkins rot, and that never looks good in the house. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff, and actually we celebrated my birthday last night. And Kristen did an amazing job, but it's like it's fall, and I'm not ready. And see, here in Ohio, probably a little different than where you are, but here in Ohio, we get these fake falls.
Mhm.
So a few days ago, it was cold. It was cold, and it's cool this morning, but we'll then have not this week. So don't be going, Rob. Where did you read your weather forecast? Not the rest of this week. It's going to be cool the rest of this week. But then, like Tuesday next week, they're saying it's going to be 85. I'm like, what in the world? Where did you come up with this?
Hey, funny story. You say that the real pumpkins rot. We had bought a couple years ago a white pumpkin, like an actual white pumpkin, real. It was in our dining room, like in the centerpiece there, whatever, over and over for a year and a half. A real one, never rotted, like still solid. I have no idea what was into this pumpkin. We ended up just throwing it away, but it never rotted.
Well, you know what I say. The only thing that's good about this time of year is I get to bring out my gourd jokes. This is gorgeous, all that kind of stuff. Yes, I get to bring out all of those. And somebody from Pennsylvania calling me. Good night.
Right.
Anyway, sorry, it came up on my phone, on my screen, everywhere, all at once. I guess I forgot to turn that off. And so anyway,
okay.
But no, it's a gorgeous time of year. It's not the most wonderful time of the year. That's coming up, but it is gorgeous. And I tell my wife that. I said, this room is gorgeous. And she rolls her eyes. And if you know Kristen, that's about it. Sometimes she shakes her head. That's when it's really bad.
I've seen her do both to you, Rob.
But yes, the orange cups are out, as you can see. And all of the orange. And see, okay, so the advantage of this is orange is one of my favorite colors. So orange is good. And orange leads me to talk about football. So how's the Mo Picks and company doing?
Hey, we don't really need to get into this, Rob. We're 2-1. We've lost the last two games by a field goal, so we should be okay. He hasn't really shown a lot, but I know you're trying to really like talk about this piece because you're really sad about your fantasy football team more so than my Broncos.
I'm seriously okay, ladies and gentlemen. I've played fantasy football. We talked about this yesterday on the morning break.
Mhm.
I've played fantasy football for 27 years. 27 years of my life I've played. I've never had a team go 0-3 to start the season. And you look at them and you go, these guys are pretty good. I've got a pretty decent team. And not one of them has performed at all. And it is terrible. I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do. It's gotten to the point now where I'm reading the internet guys, which I don't trust any of the internet guys anyway.
Mhm.
I don't trust most of these quote unquote experts in fantasy football. But yes, 0-3. I've already fired my coach. And we're currently in a search. We're Oklahoma State
Mhm.
of I mean, it's like poor Gundy. I
Mm.
mean, dude had no chance. He was gone before the season started. They wanted him gone. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So Oklahoma State looking for a coach. You know what I think they should do? I think they should hire John Gruden. He'd be a bad
yeah.
cowboy.
Yeah, that'd be a cool one, right? Yeah, the
He would
Cowboys.
be a bad cowboy. Listen.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Instead of why banana, it would be why cowboy.
Second longest tenured coach in college football, and he's gone, right? He's been there since what, 1999, I think it was.
Super nice guy. I got a chance to meet him a few
really
years ago. Really a cool dude. And I feel bad for him, but I think, unfortunately, I think a lot of what has happened in the world that we know
Mhm.
is that with the NIL and everything, he just didn't move fast enough, and he didn't get there. And this weekend, this is a very tough weekend for me, by the way, because and we'll segue into our guests. We've got a couple of them today, and this is a tough weekend because now, of course, my adopted state of Ohio has the national champions, Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yep.
You got to put the in there.
I know. I got the T-shirt.
Yes, the Ohio State. They're going to play my alma mater, so this is going to be a tough week. They're playing the University of Washington.
That's
by the
not
way,
even going to be a game, Rob.
Well, hey, they're pretty good. But no, it's going to be a boat ride. They're going to take them in the middle of the ocean.
It's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah, about the second quarter. I'm not even watching the game. Like my family was like, "Yeah, Saturday," because we have my father-in-law's birthday is Saturday.
Mhm.
So he's like, "Yeah, we maybe watch." I'm like, "No, we don't need to watch any of that. They're going to get roasted."
They are. Well,
There's
it's gonna be crazy. My team Texas, of course, lost to the Ohio State Buckeyes there the first game. We've picked it up since then. I think we're in a better rhythm now. We'll see how that all
you
works
beat
out.
Sam Houston. Woo!
Hey, you got to play the people in front of you.
And Arch is flexing over a guy from Sam Houston who wouldn't have probably even made the high school team that Arch was on, and he's flexing over this guy. I'm sitting there thinking, if I'm the guy that Arch is flexing on, I'm like, what? We're not even in the same league. Why are you? It would be like me flexing over a ninth grader and playing basketball with a ninth grader.
Hey, sometimes it boosts the ego.
I guess. Whatever. Flex away, Big Daddy. Flex away.
Oh, man. Awesome. Well, Rob, we got a couple amazing guests today. We got Kevin Maycumber and Johnny Juan Ortiz. Man, I'd like to get into them today, guys. Man, today's guest is a warrior, not just on the battlefield, but in life. Kevin is a veteran and author and advocate for those battling PTSD and suicidal thoughts. What started as journaling during his own darkest days has turned into a mission to help others heal and find hope. He believes in the power of the story, the strength of brotherhood, and the truth that God can use our pain for purpose. You're going to be moved by his transparency, challenged by his passion, and inspired by his faith. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm sorry. I'm surprised, Rob, you are not jumping up and down about the Guardians. I don't know if
oh no,
if you still use the Indians. But, oh my gosh, what a team!
Well, I'm glad for you. That's good. So I'm originally from Seattle, so I'm a Mariners fan.
Oh, no. Don't. I'm a Red Sox fan.
Oh, okay.
I was assuming.
No.
Guardians,
I was grafted in. I was grafted into this family. When I moved to Ohio, I was grafted in and became a Detroit Tigers fan, which I did. Before they were winning, I became a fan of the Tigers. So no, the Tigers are folding like origami currently. So it is
that's
so
fine.
bad. It's
would say
painful.
crumpled
My
paper
wife is
ball.
a huge sports person, and I mean we watch Red Wings, we watch everything Detroit,
Mhm.
and of course Lions. I love the Lions. I like Dan Campbell before he.
Oh yeah, me too.
I mean, he's a guy I would have played with. A guy Dan, both Jason and I were quarterbacks. We would have loved Dan Campbell to be our tight end because he's the kind of guy that would have protected us and then gone on and caught a touchdown.
Yes.
So,
man,
go Red
Kevin,
Sox.
It's good to have you on the show here, brother. Thank you for your service first and foremost.
Thank you.
Man, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your story, like how you started journaling, all these pieces. Man, I'll let you take it. Introduce yourself here.
Yeah, for sure. And let me know if we have what our hard stop is. I've suffered a lot of trauma, and in some ways I was a pretty unlucky guy. And while military is part of my trauma, it is actually probably a smaller part. And I don't necessarily consider myself a warrior of the past, but I do consider myself a warrior of the present. And what transpired was after, and it was a good 7-8 years after my military service, I suffered a really severe traumatic event. And what transpired was part of it because I hadn't dealt with my mental health from all the traumas I'd gone through previously. I had a mental breakdown, and I attempted suicide twice.
Wow.
And back in the day, we're talking 30 plus years ago, there were literally no resources. You didn't have, and I'm just not talking technical resources or therapy resources like trauma. You didn't have the internet, you didn't have the books, you didn't have the social media. I mean, you didn't have all these things you can go to now that you could check and say, hey, I'm going through this stuff, what's going on? And so that segued into me sort of stumbling into journaling. And, I was honestly, back in the day, I was a really smart guy. I was engineering based. I was a terrible writer, but I just started writing down all these complex things that I was feeling. And I was really sick, and I got sicker and sicker. And, a number of things happened. One with me finding my faith, which was absolutely center to me, turning my life, at least stopping the hemorrhaging, and it got me turned around and got me forward looking. And so I would continue journaling for about 15 years. And then, of course, at that point, I'd healed and or at least learned how to manage most of the things I was going through. And about 5 years ago, we moved to Pennsylvania, and I found the notes, and the notes were significant. There was over a box of journaling notes, and it was crazy. So I put it all down, looked at it, and I said, wow, I've got a book here. And about a year and a half ago, I wrote the book, and I could have never imagined where the book would have taken me.
Awesome. That's, man, I know, again, thank you for your service. Us as men, we have a harder time talking about this stuff, mental health, about, all of these things. And I know, and just, doing some research on it, and we've talked a little bit here. I am my brother's keeper is a powerful motto. How has that shaped the way that you advocate for veteran suicide prevention and mental health policy?
Well, what happened was, and I've talked about this before, at least in my life, God took my life, and I had, despite all the challenges, all the illness and so many obstacles, I still did fairly well. I've had a pretty good life. I have a wife of 30 years. I've got great kids. I've been involved in the community. And one of the chapters in my book is titled Giving. And that really was the fundamental aspect of what helped me calibrate my life. Now, my life was bad. It was very bad. And, when you get to the point of suicide, you're at the very end.
Yes.
But I started doing missionary volunteer work and volunteer projects. And I found I had a knack at it because of all these talents I had as, as a junior executive, as a smart guy. I was articulate, I was at a level of compassion, and I also had experience, regarding trauma. So I got
Mhm.
more into this, and as I would get deeper and deeper, people would ask, to listen to my stories and, what I'd gone through, how I'd healed, and I saw it resonating, and that's where it really began. I said, "Hey, you have an ability to make an impact here. You have ability to be not just a leader in your family, not one just among your friends, but one within the community." And I did more and more, and it elevated to a point where it was really starting to make an impact. I've done an awful lot with some very good people to accomplish many good things.
Mhm.
And so here, when the book came out, this is just another stage of me advocating for people with mental health issues created by trauma.
Mhm.
And so when I wrote the book, what really changed my strategy was I had mostly women peer review my book,
Mhm.
and the feedback I got was tremendous. And I said, "Oh my gosh, you've got a piece of work here that goes
Yeah.
well beyond just your personal experiences, but of so many others, from physical abuse, sexual assault,
Mhm.
domestic violence, all that." And I said, "Wow." And so I wiped out much of the military tone of my book, and I coined the term trauma agnostic.
Wow.
So, that's where my book is. Well, it has 16 chapters. I really focus on the most common things I think people need to hear or deal with during trauma. I said, let's focus on the healing. Let's not
Mhm.
focus on the trauma, because trauma means different things to different people, and it impacts them in different ways. And so I wanted to be forward thinking. How can we help people heal? And then, of course, it does resonate within the military community, but it also resonates with everyday people, emergency responders, and so forth. And so here I am now, really strongly advocating, and the success has been just extraordinary with with advocating.
That's awesome. Right down there's a QR code for the book, guys. Check it out. It's on
Mm.
Amazon there. One more question here as we wrap up. We've got about a minute and a half left here.
Yes, sir.
Um, what would you say to our audience, man or woman, that's watching right now, that's suffering silently with trauma that they've never shared with anybody? Like, what's some practical first steps for healing? That type of stuff.
Yeah, and the thing I talk about the most is depending on the severity of your trauma. Now, the VA looks at it technically, I think, at 5 levels. Most of the world looks at it as you just have PTSD.
Mhm.
Uh, but what you have to understand is that your brain has possibly been changed. It's just not a thought process. Your brain has been changed and rewired, and it tends to trick you. And you have to ascertain, what is real and what is not real, and what can I control and what I can't control. That very premise can help you reframe where you are. A lot of things your brain is telling you just aren't real, and you have to learn how to manage that and manipulate it into a positive, forward moving, forward acting behavior. And that
Mhm.
would be the number one. I wish somebody had told me that all those things in my head, Kevin, those aren't real.
Yep. Understood. Understood. Well, really appreciate you having, being on the show here.
Thank you.
Remember that from Rob's face there. So great to have you on, Kevin. And we'll get you back there in the back. We'll talk some more, but what you have going on here is very much needed. It is a very good thing. Like I have a lot of friends that are ex-military, that are current
Mhm.
military. So thank you for what you're doing, especially for
Thank you.
like,
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter for the military, just for everybody.
Yep.
If I could end on one final thing, while it is on Amazon,
Yeah.
uh, it is free on Kindle Unlimited, and it will
Awesome.
be forever. And all 4 major U.S. military academies now have it, and I gave them free unlimited digital usage as well. And we're
Amazing.
trying to do that. We're not trying to make any money from this. We're just trying to help people.
Amazing. Amazing.
I
We'll go,
appreciate it.
guys, check out Abundant TV. There'll be an article on there where you can pull all that data, all of that information. Again, thanks so much, Kevin.
Thanks,
Thank
Kevin,
you.
for being with
Have
us.
So,
Hey,
Rob,
man.
that was awesome, brother. He's doing some amazing stuff there.
Incredible.
It's definitely things that us guys, we don't like to talk about, right?
Nope, it is definitely not. And that you nailed it, man.
Mhm. But man, moving on to our next guest here, Rob. We got a friend. He wears many hats. He's a mortgage lender, Zig Ziglar certified speaker, worship leader, family man, community builder. Like I said, one of my close friends. But at the core of it all, Johnny Juan Ortiz is a kingdom entrepreneur who lives to serve, whether it's mentoring youth, helping families become homeowners, or preaching from the stage. He leads with heart and conviction. Today, we're diving into faith, legacy, business, and what it means to live a fully integrated life with God at the center.
Wait, and one more thing.
Sure.
He's a Cowboys fan.
but hey, we do share the same barber. Rob.
You guys go to the Econo barber.
So obviously. You're saying there's a chance.
Is that what Jerry's putting on the new shirts?
Donnie, man, you know you're going to get some hard times with this, and this is what we do, right?
Love it. My wife says I can dish it. I'm not good at taking it, so this will be good for me.
It's good. It's Jesus teaching you some new stuff.
It's good for the soul.
Absolutely.
Well, brother, it's good to have you on the show. And like I was saying in the intro there, your story weaves together business, ministry, family, community service. Man, what keeps you anchored? How do you do it? Because you're like me. We just do so many different things, brother. I love your heart. And how do you do it?
Man, I tell you right now, it's Christ, right? When you look at that anchor, you've got to have something solid that's unmovable, right? Unshakable, unmesswithable, to be nice. But it's one of those things that, because we're going to get out there, right? Life is going to happen. And once we have the understanding that life doesn't happen to us, but it happens for us. And then that next level, I call it the cool kids next level, is it happens because of you, right? And you come to the full understanding that you were put on this earth for a reason, on purpose, and for a purpose. And when you start walking in your purpose, that's where it gets really fun. That's where it gets really interesting. And I call it childlike faith. When you start operating in that childlike faith, oh, right. When we were kids, we believed for the impossible. We believed for anything. We didn't take no for an answer. We went out and we did it. Somewhere along the line, we lost that.
That's the truth.
I'm helping people to reactivate that childlike faith.
Well, and we've got to hang out in person, a time or so. And man, I'll be honest with you. The first time I met you, it's like we'd known each other for a long time. Like you just a close friend, man. It just, you have that personality, you have that, like that aura about you, that energy about you. You can see that the Holy Spirit is just flying through you, man. Dude, I love it, man. So one really cool thing is you being a Zig Ziglar certified speaker. We talked about that when you did the MC for an event that we did in Milwaukee. That was so cool. And we actually got to meet Tom Ziglar. He was one of the speakers as well. And that was because of you. So I want to get into that. And why did you go about that for? Because I know you do coaching, and we'll get into that here in a minute too.
Yeah, man, I was actually looking at a couple different things, and I ordered a product for my daughter, a backpack that had all this stuff in it. And I just simply found that because of how Amazon talks to Facebook, and they kind of go back and forth. And before you know it, we have this thing, and all of a sudden you get in there and you realize that I didn't just buy a backpack, or I didn't put a backpack in my Amazon cart. Jeff Bezos talked to Mark Zuckerberg and said, "Hey, Johnny wants thinking about a backpack." So in my Facebook ad scroll, a Zig Ziglar backpack came up, and I'm like, "Hey, I'll get my daughter the backpack, keep the books." And because Zig Ziglar was the very first personal growth development person I'd ever heard back in the late 90s, I said, you know what? This makes sense. It was a perfect fit. And before you know it, I'm hanging out with Zig Ziglar's kids, and his daughter and Tom are just pouring into me. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, just a whole new level of fun, really.
That's awesome, brother. And we're going to get Tom on the show here one of these days. We already had some discussions. We're going to do that. I got to hang out with him. His heart is amazing. Johnny, your heart's amazing, brother. One thing that really stuck out with me with Zig, with Tom's dad, we're here to serve, right? And the biggest quote that I kind of live my life with here is, you can have everything you want, and I'll let you finish it.
Yeah. If you'll help enough other people get what they want, right? It's a conditional thing, right? And inside what a lot of people don't realize is that inside that one quote are 5 questions that you have to ask yourself. Number 1, what do you want? Number 2, why do you want it? Number 3, what do the people want that you're looking to help? And number 4, why do they want it? And number 5, how are you going to help them get that? Because if you help enough other people, right, conditional, then you're going to get what you want.
Yep.
And
exactly,
it's just one of
brother.
those things that you give, right? I think he stole it from the Bible because it says that if you give, it's going to be given to you, pressed down, shaken
Mhm.
together, and running over. And that's what I tell the cool kids is I want them to perpetually live in that overflow of God's goodness, of God's grace, of God's mercy, of God's love. Man, it's incredible.
Well, brother, here's the QR code. We just threw it up on the screen here. This is for somebody to book a call with you, because I really want to get into how you've helped entrepreneurs, in all the pieces that you've coached. Right, entrepreneurs help families buy homes. You supported youth in your community. I would love to talk about what you do in coaching.
Yeah. So in the coaching side of it, we do lean into the business side of it.
Mhm.
But one of my mentors always said that your business exists for one reason and one reason only, and that's to achieve your life's goals.
Mhm.
And if you think about the word coach, if you go back into the very beginning of what a coach was, it's the stagecoach, and it helped people get from where they are to where they want to get to.
Yep.
And we as a life coach, as a business coach, as an entrepreneur coach, do the exact same thing, just with a different vehicle, a more powerful vehicle, and that's the power of the mind. I originally started working with real estate agents, and real estate is always about three things, right? Location, location, location. And I used to tell them, and I still do, that the most valuable piece of real estate are those 6 inches between your ears.
Mhm.
Well, 7 for some. I know he's not on the camera anymore, right? But so again, I can dish it. I'm just not great at taking it. But when you start to really do that intrinsic evaluation and look at the real estate that you have right here between your minds, and you reframe and you rewire exactly what has happened to you and realize that it was happening for you, all of a sudden it gives you a whole new level of power.
Yes. Yeah, it's man, that's incredible, because I love the way you broke that down and talked about the stagecoach piece of this and how it gets you from one place to another. Oh, there's Rob. He's back. Let me throw that back off here. So
Okay,
you know,
listen,
witness protection
you
program.
you can diss me, but I don't have a puppet sitting behind me. So I mean, really, how serious do I take a diss from a guy who's got a puppet?
That's Pedro. Pedro,
Pedro?
watch out.
Oh,
Pedro
no.
the
Hey,
puppet.
hey, Rob.
We've got to have you back on then, and Pedro has to talk at least through half of the. We'll do an interview with Pedro.
Absolutely.
Hey, where's your taco sign? We got your taco sign up there, don't we?
Yeah.
See, you got to show the camera, Rob, because he is like us. We do like our food. See,
Johnny's going to be my new friend.
Johnny's awesome, brother.
Yeah.
Johnny, man, this is
If
so
you're
cool.
having problems, you're just not having enough tacos. Just add
That's
one more
it.
taco.
I agree
Keep 'em coming.
wholeheartedly with that statement. I
Well,
do.
Johnny, brother, thank you so much for being on the show, man. We'll definitely have you on some more.
Absolutely,
love
man.
to-
Appreciate you guys.
love to
Thank you.
talk. We'll wait. We want to do it before the season is over, because once the season is over, Johnny will have no hope and he will not be a good guest.
But hey,
So we got to get it
the
while he's
season's
still
already
optimistic.
started and
Maybe
it's
about
over.
week 9 of the season. He'll still have some hope, but at that point, then it'll be dashed, and we don't want him on after that.
thought it
Well,
was
that's
over
all right.
when
We
they
just
traded
get started
Michael.
on next year sooner.
Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, it's great having you with us on the show today. Man, it went by way too fast
It
today.
does, doesn't it?
Go
It
back,
does.
big head. There we go. And it's been a lot of fun. Then he switched us around. Man, we were moving. It has been another amazing show, and it was just great. Could have listened to Johnny forever. And of course, Kevin, amazing topic, and one that is so important.
Mhm. It is.
But
Yeah, check that out, guys. You'll see that. Go to theabundanttv.com. You'll have all the information there. So if you don't get it on the show here, you can go to the website and check it out there. But man, it goes so fast, Rob. Every week.
It went by very fast today. Hey, listen, we appreciate each and every